What's going on, everybody? It's your host back with episode 2, Da Vinci's, and I'm joined today with my boy DNY Blaze.
She can never ever be alone. She steady blowing up my fucking phone.
What's going on, homie?
What's good, dog? What's good? Not much, man.
Bro, I appreciate you stopping by for episode 2 of Up and Coming. If you guys don't know, if you're joining in or if you're just now getting here, Up and Coming is a platform for up and coming reporters, basketball athletes, rappers, musicians, filmmakers, whoever, poets, come on here to express their work, get it exposed to the masses, kind of just share their story on how they got to here. So DNY Blaze is from my hometown, Augusta. Man, just tell me what you got working on so far. I know we in the studio.
A couple of albums now. I haven't released anything since last year, so trying to make something shake, if I should say.
So I listened to your music when you sent it to me. I like to do my research and trying to figure out what type of artist people are and what kind of style you are. And you got like a unique style. I don't know if I could consider you a rapper or consider you an R&B singer. What would you consider yourself to be?
I'm an artist, honestly. I'm an artist. I'm not truly a rapper. I'm not truly a singer. I'm somewhere in the middle. I just like to create something and stuff that I like listening to, and then hopefully other people like listening to. So it's works of art that combine together to help me get my visions and stuff out there.
Okay. So consider yourself an artist. When I was listening to it, you have like a lot of songs that's like passionate. Like passionate to like females. It's not like you don't have like, I'm not gonna say it's not turn up music, but it's not like, it's something like the new school Barry White, like you singing to somebody who is there like an inspiration? Is there somebody you talking about? Is these real life experiences, or this is just like you writing your heart out into these words, into the lyrics?
Most of these are real life experiences. Yes. I'm an R&B head. I grew up on rap music, grew up on R&B, but R&B has always been the forefront of everything. So it's funny to say Barry White. Barry White is pretty good. I don't have a deep voice like him.
Nah.
If I did have a Barry White voice, it'd be great. But like Genuine, Tank, Usher, all them folks like that. Those are some of my inspirations for me getting and writing down some of the stuff that I've come out with, basically.
When people tend to go for like something that they want to do, like a career or activity or hobby or an interest, whatever it's something, they have somebody or something they want to, like, for instance, is like you in your situation. Like for me, I wanted to be the next Stephen A. Smith. I couldn't be Stephen A. I have to be my own person. But I knew I wanted to be on TV. I knew I wanted to do this. I knew I wanted to kind of be like Ellen DeGeneres. Who was that person for you to be like, that's who I want to be like, that's this type of music that I want to put out, and why?
I said his name before. It's Usher.
Mm-hmm.
Usher, like his catalog is just like ridiculous, dog. It's just crazy how much stuff he can do. I can't dance like Usher, but I try to get his inspiration behind stuff like that, to verb it in a way that makes other people dance and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? So Usher, growing up, of course, everybody loves Michael Jackson and everything like that. I was big on Big, but about Biggie he always had Diddy. He was his hype man. Diddy got the crowd moving and everything like that. And Diddy wasn't that bad of an artist as most people made him seem.
It was dancer. He was dancing a lot in that. He was dancing a lot in the music videos.
He was doing a lot of dancing, but he was the turning point behind everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
He held the whole New York on his back. If you didn't know, I'm from New York, so that Knicks thing back there.
Yeah, I didn't know you were from New York. Actually, I didn't know you were from New York.
So it's but Usher is definitely like that go-to guy. Him and T Breeze, crazy.
So those are your inspirations. When I've known you
In a
since
minute.
it's been almost pretty much almost 12 years, 12 to 13 years. Known each other
Yeah.
for a long time. We played
Play ball back in the day.
Played ball back in the day. I haven't hooped since the pandemic. I haven't touched the ball since the pandemic.
Might be rusty.
I know I'm rusty. I know I'm rusty. I tried it during the pandemic one time and I put it back down. I got to get myself back into shape. But the crazy thing is I didn't know that you were a musician.
That's what a lot of people say.
Like, how does that, like, is that like a normal, you just said like a lot of people say that. It's like is that a normal conversation? Is that something that you don't bring up, or is that like a hidden talent that you have?
It's people that brag about a lot of stuff don't. I'm humble as can be. So when somebody says like they heard my song and I'm like, oh, for real, that's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm.
It's something that I want people to figure out on their own. So when they listen to something, they'll be like, oh, that was you?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, yeah, that was me. Oh, that's kind of fire. I didn't know you did this. I was like, yeah, I do this. So I don't want to be like push it forefront in your face like that. Which of course is kind of bad when you're supposed to push it forefront, be heavy on social media and everything like that.
Yeah.
But I want to be like one of those hidden gems as we're like, oh damn, that's kind of crazy. Some like Brent Fayez. If you know who Brent Fayez is,
Nah.
he was a hidden gem, and I was like, oh, he's kind of fire.
Well, if you think about it, you are a hidden gem. I mean, Augusta, Georgia is known for, we don't really think of Lawrence Fishburne, yeah. James Brown. I think I'm blanking out on her name. Jesse Norman, the Masters, and then the art scene. But we don't really talk about other musicians that we have out there. And I know there's a lot of singers, rappers, country musicians, like everywhere out there, but those people you guys are hidden. And I mean, when I say you're a hidden gem, I mean you have albums on. Like a lot of people can't say that. A lot of people can't say that they have music on Apple Music.
Yeah.
Like
it's something that I've done for a while. I just started heavily getting into it about a little bit longer than 6-7 years ago. Everything after high school, because I used to write when I was in high school. I used to like write poems and lyrics and everything like that, but I never did nothing with it. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, got out of high school, went to college. You got a lot of idle time on your hand, and I was like, you know what? Maybe I'm gonna try this. So I started trying it, and I was like, this is fun. First of all, it keeps me out the street, keeps me from doing all other crazy activities and everything like that. But it gets me to express myself to a point where it's feel good music for other people, because it's nothing like trap, nothing like heavy on that side of everything like that. It's feel good music is what I like to say.
I was bobbing my head in the car. So, sometimes, bro, I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I know, but like everybody that I know from Augusta is apparently they're rapper or singer. They're pushing their music out, and I'm always like, I'm the one is like, I feel bad because I know you guys and I don't want to support, and it's just like, I heard some bad music and I heard some good music. And I will say that you did, I don't really like R&B like that, but you had my head bobbing. You did have my head bobbing. You did have my head. Is that what you, is that what you like, is that like, what's your ultimate message like you're trying to get for people to listen to? For instance, like people may want them turn up in the club and whatever, or get crunk or something like that. Or some people just like, hey man, you got a shorty that you trying to get at? Here you go. Like what do you want people to take away from your music?
Basically that anything is possible, to be honest with you. There's a lot of, like I know on one song in there's a lot of people that don't have a lot of confidence for themselves. So I'm like, hey, you can do this. Like if you want to get with her, she's a 10, you a 3. Dog, try it. You never know what happens. Like anything is possible for these people. Like I want to make sure that they know anything is possible.
How often? Like, so I see that are you in the studio? Is that your studio that you have?
Yeah. I got a studio at the crib, yeah.
You got the studio in the crib. Before I ask you this question, yes, we do have samples of his tracks. I'm going to play them in the middle of our interview. I'm going to keep DNY Blaze for a good 30 to 45 minutes with both. Well, I'm a New York Knicks fan. I don't know if you're a New York Knicks fan. I know.
Of course.
Well, they play tonight. They play the Heat.
They do.
They do play the Heat, so I know we're trying to get on that. But I'm gonna keep them for another 30 to 40 minutes. Y'all, I'm gonna listen to. You're gonna have some tracks. But if you hit exclamation point music, you can go to DNY Blaze's Apple Music. Go ahead and download that right now. I'll put it right now for you guys. I'll put it in the chat. Y'all go ahead and check him out. They go to link right there. And then, hey, it's Dylan. It's dang, I can't even get your name right. I guess it's Dylan. I appreciate the follow. We still got more work to do. Next question. So you got your studio in the house, and I gotta ask. So, studio to studio. How much time is it like, how much, you said you just got into it, right? How much time did you put together to, like, make it the way you wanted to make it? Because when I was listening to your music doesn't sound like you're in a closet. It makes it sound like you're in an actual studio in Atlanta or somewhere.
It's been a lot of time and a lot of long nights and a lot of money. It's expensive, but it's something I want because I rarely sleep. Everybody that knows me I rarely sleep. Mm-hmm. I literally get like 3 to 4 hours of sleep every day. I go to sleep like 4 o'clock, 3, 4, 5 o'clock in the morning. And then if I got to work the next day, it's like 9 o'clock. So I rarely sleep. Is
that because you have like these lyrics that go through your mind? Like you're just, your mind, you're just still, your mind is still racing. You can't sleep. Like you got to get up and just things. And because that's how I've been, like, since I've been streaming. I've been going to bed at like 4 o'clock in the morning, then like waking up at like 7 and not being able to sleep. Like people have been telling me, you look tired. I'm like, I've got content in my mind. I'm trying to work it. I'm trying to get out.
Yeah,
is that the same?
All the time, dude. It's nonstop. Like it's to a point where I can't sleep. Like I said, it's just I'll just sitting here. I went through cataloging all my songs. Like I have multiple hard drives, and I went through cataloging all my songs. I literally have over hundreds and hundreds of songs or hooks or anything that I've done that haven't been released. Mm-hmm. And it's crazy because I've started on this trend now to where usually I write down what I want. Started on a trend to where I'm not writing it down. I'm just going to the mic and then just literally just spitting whatever comes to my mind at that point.
So I had a question here. I usually take questions from viewers at the end, but they were asking if you're from Augusta. He moved to Augusta. So when did you move to Augusta, and when did you start getting into music? When did you start getting into it?
Moved to Augusta when I was 14. So that was back in 2003, 2004, the area. And then I started getting into music, getting heavy into music when I was like 21, 22.
Okay. You said that you have catalogs of just unreleased music books.
Yeah, it's crazy.
What's the method that you have to say, all right, this is going to be my single, or this is going to be in the album? How do you come up with that method? Because I think that's like a tough process. You have all this stuff and only a few can make it. So
everything is on feel. Everything is on feel. So if I'm making a song and it kind of fits the feel of what I have in my mind, mm-hmm. I'll put them all in the same basically folder, mm-hmm. and then I go through those folders and listen to them. Okay. Like for these next two albums, one is an EP, one is a full album. These next two, I have like 15 songs each in those, and then I'm probably going to condense those. The EP, I'm probably going to condense to like 3 songs, and then the album, I'm probably going to condense to like 8.
I want to play my favorite song on the album that you sent me. I know you're not going to be able to hear it because I'm not sharing the stream, but they're going to hear it. I know they said they wanted to hear a sample, so I'm going to play like a good, like a good 45 seconds. It's called Taxiways. Yeah. Let me play that sample real quick.
Good old Toxic Ways.
Hey, I was bobbing my head to this one too, bro.
No, that's what that song is true. It's very true. That song is very true.
Hey, somebody said the Green Room album bumps, bro. All capital bumps. I'm telling you, this is my man right here. I'm not gonna put no scrubs on up and coming, man. So I just played a good minute of that. Tell me, Toxic Ways, why'd you come up with the title? Why'd you come up with the title? You ain't gotta tell me the name, but you gotta give us a scenario, yo. Gotta give us a scenario.
So Toxic Ways, I was I was talking to this chick at one time, and then dude, we would go back and forth. We would argue, and then it'll be like, I don't like you anymore. And then the next day it'll be like, yeah, I still like you. And then we just keep going back and forth. Like we were literally toxic for each other.
Mm-hmm.
Seemed to work out. Like we were Mr. and Mrs. What was it Mr. and Mrs. Smith with Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie?
Yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Smith, when they're like shooting at each other and like they're making out and like, yeah.
That's exactly the idea I had behind that. And me and her were just the same way. We would bump heads all the time, but it would work.
Mm-hmm.
Toxic. She knew we were toxic, and it was like, ain't nothing else we could do but just be toxic with each other.
I was in the car. I was bobbing my head, and it was funny because I like that song because like the people I played 2K with, Derez, you know Derez, right?
Yeah.
Derez, some of the other homies. We have a team called Toxic Waters, and we just very toxic in the chat, and it was ironic. Like that was the song that I gravitated towards. Like I like the whole album, but that was the song I was like, yeah. I like that.
Like it was me and the same girl. We're together to this day. It's non-toxic, like, but it's still you can still see me bump heads, but it's less toxic, which is a good thing.
Which is always hard because like you like in Augusta, it's like it's small but it's big, and you're gonna run into that person every so often. Like I can run into you today and see you next week, and you would have the same outfit on. Like that's how Augusta is.
No, it's so small. It's so small.
Do you have any like? I want to before I get into like the album. Do you have like what's your goal? Like what do you have? Like what's your goal as an artist? Like do you have any aspirations that you achieve?
Everybody wants. Everybody wants a Grammy. Everybody wants that. Of course, I want a Grammy and everything like that. But my main goal, I have two main goals. One is to make a living just so I can do music, just comfortably so I can do music. And two is to afford anything that my parents would need. So if they called me and say, hey, yada yada, we need a Ring doorbell, we need something, I could be like, cool, I could get you a whole Ring system, get your car fixed, yada yada yada, and I can still be comfortable. Because they did a lot for me. I want to repay that back.
I want to go back to that, but question, somebody asked, was she a hairdresser?
She was not a hairdresser, no.
She wasn't a hairdresser.
She was a server. Yeah.
So let me ask you, so I think me and you're the same age, or maybe you're a year older than me. I can't remember. But with you were close. Because we're like 29, 30-ish, whatever. Appreciate the bits. Because we're in around that age and we're starting to pursue our dreams. What do you tell those folks that say like, "Hey, I'm a singer, I'm an R&B singer, I'm trying to get my music out." Do you get those weird looks to say like, You're too old to do that. Like, and then like, what do you do to prove them wrong? Like,
I do.
how?
It's basically I prove them wrong by showing in my catalog at that point.
Mhm.
Like, hey, I'm making strides to better myself with each album. So I'm making strides to be the better person next time.
Mhm.
Because I don't want to work all the time. Like, because I have a full-time job.
Mhm.
It's it's the fact that like I said, I want to make sure my people are straight and make sure I'm straight just by doing something that I love, just which is entertainment, basically.
I also too is like, well, people can say like, why are you making music? Like, go get a real job. But this is something that you're pursuing, so you can a pay for what you want, what you need, and two, what your parents need. Two is
Mhm.
like, I mean, you're legit. You got songs on Apple Music. Is that a hard thing to do, or is that an easy thing to do? Because I don't know a lot of people who's got music on Spotify and Apple Music. Like, what's that process to even get there? Is like hard.
You could no, you could put it on. We have multiple websites like TuneCore, DistroKid, United Masters that you can put your music on. That automatically sends it to Apple Music, Spotify, Tidal, those type of stuff. But then again, some people don't go back behind that and then get their stuff copyrighted and take it to Sound Exchange. So that way, if your music ever gets picked up for like movies or anything, TV shows, that you get those back end royalties whenever those come through.
Mm-hmm.
Because of course, music, you can be a rapper, you can be a musician, you can be a singer all along, but the bigger spectrum is if you're in a major industry movie, if you're in a major industry TV show, if you have that, like even if you're like in 2K or Madden or anything like that, most people don't see the the wealth behind that, but it's a lot because you're still getting that major platform and you're still getting into something that is marketable to any other people because you play 2K, I play 2K,
Yeah.
play Madden and stuff like that. It's something that can be very lucrative to you as a person, as an entertainer.
What if 2K hit you up right now and said, I want your song to be on 2K Beats, or I know it's called 2K Beats, but yeah, on the 2K album or 2K Beats. What if they reached out to you? What would that mean to you?
That'd be fire. That would be fire. That would be a one milestone that I can basically check off and be like, yeah, I did that, which will make me drive to be like, I want to do more at this point because I want to keep continuing to be more successful in something that I'm pursuing.
So what are you doing right now? So we have the album. It's called the latest one is called Pretty Little Secrets. What are you? I know you released that a while ago. What are you working on right now?
Right now, but before I say what I'm working on right now, Pretty Little Secrets is actually my first like jump into R&B because Green Room was hip hop R&B, but Pretty Little Secrets is more R&B than it is hip hop, which is always something that I wanted to do. And I was just like, at at our age, it's just like we can do it. We just don't care anymore. We're just going to do what we want to do.
Yeah.
Um, but now I'm working on something. I'll say the title. It's going to be called House of Shadows. So basically, it's in my mind. There's a lot of people in this house, and each one is a shadow figure. It's not on the darker side, but it's all these shadows have different personalities for each person. So in those different personalities, it's going to be broken up into those songs, basically.
How do you come up with the names for these? There's people in this chat right now that's saying the Grim Room slaps. Pretty Little Secrets. It's good. Now you're talking about dark. You said Dark Shadows, correct?
House of
House
Shadows.
of Shadows. How do you come up with those names for the albums? And what are the meanings for the? Like, you already gave me the meaning for one, but how do you come up with these names, and what are the meanings for them?
The Green Room. That was literally taking in a green room. It was a green room that was done for commercials and everything like that. And it had a name. It was called Just Living Life before it was called the Green Room. But when I took it, I was like, One of my friends, she said you should just label it the green room, and I was like, it made sense at that point, so I just went with the green room. Pretty Little Secrets was feelings, all those feelings that people into themselves. It just came out. All these little feelings and secrets that I've had is just boom, all on that album. And then House of Shadows is me to where I'm showcasing. Okay, I have this R&B, I have this hip hop, but there's different aspects of each genre inside of me at that point. So I'm not just built off hip hop and R&B because I like some country, I'm some opera.
Yeah.
It's
We
techno pop.
we live in
I
a
like
town
pop.
for that. We live in a town for all that.
Yeah, so it's just like it's different personalities, certain genres that I can take from that and put it into there.
Do you feel like you have like an advantage or disadvantage because like you're in a smaller city? Do you I'm gonna ask you a two-parter because now I have a question asking. So do you feel like you have an advantage because you're in a smaller city or a disadvantage because you're in a small, and then also two, are you freelance or are you signed?
I am freelance. I so there's no signed, but the smaller city question, uh, it's kind of give and take because at some point, since it is a smaller city, if I do any like showcases, if I do any shows, uh, most shows I have to go to Atlanta, most shows I have to go to Charlotte. Um, I have a homie that lives up in Columbia. Well, he actually lives in Greenville now.
Greenville's
That
the
he
spot.
has Yeah, he has access to shows in Greenville and Columbia that I can do there. So it's kind of give and take because like you said, everybody's trying to do the same sort of music type of thing. But that's why I'm trying to put myself in a bucket where I'm not just this type of music to where I can just go out and do shows wherever. Like I have music on there because if you guys didn't know, I'm of course black and I'm Puerto Rican. So I have music on there that has Spanish appeal to it. So it's reaching, has Spanish lyrics, has Spanish everything in there. So that's another market that I can tap into.
When I turned on the first song on Pretty Little Secrets, I was like, "Is he speaking Spanish? Did he just throw that out?" I was like, "I didn't know dude. Like, who did he talk to learn Spanish? Like, hey, you were speaking it fluently. I did not know that you were mixed."
Yeah. My mom's from Puerto Rico. She was literally born in Puerto Rico, raised in Puerto Rico. And then my dad, the actual story that we got here in Augusta, because my dad's from here, but then he moved to New York, and then they met my mom, and then they all came back down here.
Do you feel like it's important to incorporate both styles of music in there so like one isn't forgotten, or you feel like that you need well to pretty much to reach a greater audience?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like how
It's
Lil Wayne, like when Lil Wayne when he started, he was like,
When he went to rock.
but yeah, he reached out to white people and then started making buku money. When he was with just Hot Boys, he was just you know. But when he reached
Yeah.
out to when he expanded his catalog, I mean, like, damn, is that something that you're trying to go to, or you're trying to stick with the heritage that?
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. Because there's people that with English that look like me. It's just when you think of Hispanic rapper, Hispanic anything, you think of like Bad Bunny, Wisin and Yandel, old school like Don Omar, that type of stuff like that. But it's just there's nobody that actually looks like me who where I can mix it with English like that and then mix it with the Spanish. And then tapping into that market is crazy. It's there's so many Spanish speaking countries in the world. It's ridiculous.
Do you? How often are you like trying to get your name out there? Are you going to shows like and is it harder too because of the pandemic has like slowed down, or is it making you more motivated to push out more?
It's harder because of the pandemic. That's why I've been working on content. It's just like releasing like in studio performances and stuff like that. Trying to make sure that I keep a name out there But since the pandemic is still going on, but since it's COVID, it's getting a little less. They do have shows that are opening up and everything like that, so where I can go to and try to get my name out there more.
So here's a serious question. I'm gonna move my keyboard up and my microphone up. So serious question we have here. Being in the industry for as long as you've been in there, and I know you want to break into the industry to a bigger scale. What were some of the things that you have learned that has prepared you or is shaping you to become a better artist or to essentially get to where you need to get to, or or to get your music on TV or to get your music on a video game?
Mm-hmm. It's two things. One, my one of my close friends, he's also my engineer. He's the one who got me started on just not writing it down, but just go by feel, and that's helped me a lot. It's because sometimes you get writer's block. I don't know,
Yeah.
as a journalist and everything, do you get writer's block?
I get writer's block all the time because you have to tell a story. You have to engage people because I mean I've got people in here too, and if I'm not engaging with the audience, then they're going to leave. So I get writer's block on a frequent basis. So yeah,
Yes. It's that going by feel. When he said when he put me to the test, I was at his studio, and then he came in and he was like, just go in there. And I went in there and I was like, this sounds dumb, this is dumb, this is dumb. And then I came back home to mine, excuse me. And then I went on my mic and I was like, I'm gonna keep doing this until I make something that's smart, that can actually be used as a song. And then I finally did it. And then from then on, I was like, I need to keep doing this, keep being repetitive, keep trying and keep going to make sure that I can correctly uh, say what I'm feeling at that time. He literally got me started on just going in there just to do it by feel, which is something that a lot of people don't do. There's a lot of people that's in it for the money.
Hmm.
There was an instance where when I just first started out before the green room came out, I met with a gentleman who wanted to pay me for distribution. It was a very large amount that he wanted to pay me for distribution, and I turned that down because it's as I've said inside like my songs and stuff. Yeah, money is cool and everything, but it's not the driving point behind everything that I want to do. It's I do have a passion for it. I do want to make sure my people are comfortable, but it's not just the sole reason that I want to do it. That's why I would never do like no cheesy thing or anything. Just like get quick money gigs or anything like that. It's not something that I want to be associated with at that point.
I'm kind of what do you mean by that? Like you don't want to do quick money gigs or this money? There was like he offered you a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
Was that were you like mean like selling out? Like what do you mean?
No, he like he wanted to own
Your
my rights and
masters.
stuff.
You wanted to own
Yeah,
your masters. Got you.
but it's not something that I would do just because. Hey, for instance, let's say it was. I'll put it like this. It was a six figure amount that he wanted to give me just to work with him, and then he would own the masters to the songs and he would put it out. And then I was like, that's not what I want to do because I want to have creative control behind everything that I want to do. I don't want somebody just dictating what, hey, you should do this, do this, do this. I want to say what I want to do at that point when I want to do it. So that was it's something hard to turn down because it's the money. You see the check in front of you,
Yeah.
and it's like I can really use that. I can do this, I can give to these people, but it's like, but I also want to be myself. I don't want to be somebody that somebody else is telling me to be.
Well, that's I mean a lot of these big time artists that we some of them like fall into the really bad contract. Like they have to like they get like $10,000 after every sold $2 million, 2 million albums sold, and the company gets like this amount more money. So like essentially they're not making no money, and
at all.
and they gotta pay everything back.
Yep.
Is that is that what you were looking at? It was like, I don't want to do that. You don't want to fall into that, or you had somebody in your ear, or you just was just smart enough, just nah, bro. I just want to be
Like, I didn't. The thing is, I hate owing people.
so. Me too. Me too.
So,
me
yeah,
too.
About it, I was like, money, but I want this money back at some point. And then I'm not just gonna blow this money on whatever. So I'd rather not do this because I still want to be able to do what I want to do at any given point in time.
Guys, I got DNY Blaze for a few more minutes. I'm going to say about 10 more minutes, 10, 20 more minutes. If y'all got any questions, put them in the chat. You're open to anything? Almost anything?
Almost anything.
Almost anything. So I'm going to shoot you with some questions, some more questions while the questions are starting to flow in the chat. Do you have a Mount Rushmore?
Yes, I do.
What's your Mount Rushmore?
It varies from time to time. Music wise, not music, but rap wise, it's Jay-Z.
Okay.
This is no particular order.
All right.
Jay-Z, Biggie.
Okay.
For me, Big Sean, because Big Sean is crazy. He's one of my inspirations because he mixes R&B with rap very well. And and Tupac. Yeah.
I'm gonna go back to that Big Sean. Ever since when he dropped that album with Metro Boomin. Metro Boomin gave him all those hot beats, and he wasted those beats. He became medium Sean, in my opinion.
That album wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
It was
finally famous, so it was.
I see. I mean, you do have the Big Sean. You got the Big Sean aura. I can see that. So okay.
Actually, I'm gonna take Pac off because my biggest inspiration. I got a poster over there in my room.
Mm-hmm.
It's Kanye. Kanye is crazy, but he is.
I love Kanye. I got a funny story. I got a quick funny story because this is about you, not me. But I was taking civics in college at Kennesaw State. Apparently, Georgia, you have to take civics and you have to pass in order to graduate. And this is like one of the first classes you take when you get into college. Bro, I swear to God, I had a 47 grade, a 47 in civics, bro. 47. And then when Kanye dropped Life of Pablo, I listened to that album back and forth studying. And when I needed this grade, this exam, I needed to study. I needed a certain grade to pass the class. Bro, when I got the final exam, Life of Pablo played the whole exam in my head, and I passed the class with like a 75. So Kanye for me,
easy did it for you.
Kanye for me is like definitely one of my favorites. He's musical genius. I always say he's a musical genius. I get all his stuff like music wise. I got his shoes. I give you Kanye.
He's up there. I forgot all about Kanye. I just looked at the poster of it and I was like, yeah, I forgot Kanye.
What's your favorite Kanye? What's your favorite Kanye album?
Everybody gives me crazy. You should already get a feel for it. But everybody says I'm crazy, but it's 808s and Heartbreak.
Okay. I feel like that took over. It kind of changed the game. It kind of changed the music.
It changed everything.
I think that album changed a lot of things with it. And it doesn't get as much credit that people give it because it's Kanye. Yeah. But that in the Taylor Swift situation, but that album actually changed a lot.
It took him from here to up there.
Bro, bro. You anytime you can get on a song and say "scoop de dee whoop, boop de dee boop," and it's a hit. Oh, bro, you you doing it? And he's a billionaire. There's not a lot of like besides Jay-Z, Kanye, and now Rihanna, bro.
Yeah.
It is crazy. Somebody asked in the chat, "Are you a one man show?"
Yes and no. I just started. If they're talking about production and street, I just started 2019. Just started making beats.
Okay.
So anything that you've heard from now, about 70% of that is 60% of that is my own beats. Like I bought a keyboard, beat machine. So I just started making my own beats since then. So it's beginning to be a one man show. Yeah.
Y'all need to be like, is that like as a journalist? That's being a one man show. It's pretty common. Like you got to film, you got to edit, you got to write your own script. You got to be in front of the camera. You got to do the interviews. You have to do it or you can't do it. It's common, but it's sort of kind of hard. Is it hard in the music industry having to do both? Like I know Nav, he's a one man show, I guess.
Nav, is it?
Nav makes his own beats and he raps. Nav makes his own beats and he raps.
He does. I forgot about that. Yeah, he does. It's time consuming because sometimes I spend hours on hours on hours just to make sure that a snare or a hi-hat is tuned to the proper way that I hear it in my head. But it's fulfilling because at the end of the day you hear your stuff getting played, just not by yourself, but if you make like beats for somebody else, you hear yourself with somebody else rapping or singing over it, and it's like I did that, which is kind of cool. The first beat I ever made is on the Green Room, and it's a song called Waves, and that just came out perfect.
I'm gonna play another song. There's people in the audience that's asking for a song. Can I play another sample? What is before? I'm gonna do that later, but I want to play your favorite song. So out of all the songs you've made so far, and that people can access, and it's like, hey, I'm DNY Blaze. Come hit me up. Come to this showing or whatever. Hit my Instagram or whatever. What's the one song that you say, come listen to, and come listen? Like this is the song that you promote yourself with.
That's tough. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
and what album is it on?
I gotta pick one.
You can pick two. Or how many? What's your fit? Like, do you have a?
I have a top two.
Okay.
I have a top two. Waves is one because I made that beat and it came out perfect. But the second one it's called Dark Beauty. It's off of Pretty Little Secrets. That one gives is up there with one of my. It's the top two.
Why?
Like I said, Waves because I made the beat. Waves is Waves is something that I used to say all the time, and I still say anytime you hear me, if I'm walking around and somebody say something, that's wavy. If I say that's wavy, that means that's kind of cool. That's dope. So it's just something I was saying on the mic, and I was like waves, and it just came about as a song. And then Dark Beauty is because it is something that reminds me of The Weeknd. I like The Weeknd. I love The Weeknd. He's another one of my inspirations. But it reminds me of The Weeknd because I'm telling a story in the way it's the person in this story is a ballerina. In my mind, I'm gonna give you a story. The person she's a ballerina and she's dancing to a swan song for Dark Beauty, and then you can hear it and see where the lyrics go to where she starts her little dance and everything like that.
Let me play that song for a good 45 seconds if you don't mind. So
once again, intro on that one.
It's a long intro. Let's. I'm gonna get right into the I'm gonna get right into it. And I know you can't hear it, but they can hear it. All right, so I gave him a little taste. You want to listen to more? You want to listen to more Dark Beauty? Here's the link. Once again, click on that link, download all of the music, all the albums, all the singles. He's on. You on Spotify as well?
Yep.
Spotify. Go on Spotify. Go download. Watch the music videos. Now, who you talking about? Not who you. I know you talking about somebody. I know you can't just think these gotta be like stories, bro. Like you. I know you're not making this up. So who? Like, is there somebody like this previous relationship, past relationship, or
that one's current. That one's for a current one.
okay?
It's just way that came about. It's a song about basically, like say, it's a ballerina doing a dance. But to me, the girl now, she's the ballerina, she's doing the dance, but she feels like she's the black swan.
Mm-hmm.
So she feels like she can't do no right. But I'm sitting here trying to tell her, like, hey, you know, you're beautiful, you're great, you're amazing. You are worth more than words can put for you. And I want you to see me how I see you, so you can see it for yourself in a way.
So there's a question here. It says, "How did acting help you with?" They would have your pattern. They looked you up.
Yeah, because I do act as well. But it helped a lot, especially when I go to think of like music videos and everything like that. It helps me correlate the story of the music video of how I see the song in my head. It helps me make that come to life and to where I can act in that way because I know how it's supposed to be acted.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
It helped quite a bit.
Is there any like competition that you have? Are you like competitive? Is there any like musicians that you're trying to not compete with, but you just see them? And like for me, like I get on Twitch all the time and I'm looking at these people and I'm like, I look at certain people and I'm like, I know I'm better than this person. I know I'm funnier than this person. I know this content is better. Even like as a journalist, when I'm watching the news, like I'm not in the news business no more, but when I'm watching the news, I'm watching ESPN. I'm like, bro, you give me a chance, I can wash them. Is that are you like that? Like, is that in here, or you go to different places? Or you listen to different music? Or is that how you are, or you just chill?
I am 1,000 times competitive. Yes, that's what makes me keep going because I know that there's a lot of people out there that I know I'm better than, and I know that. So anytime I hear them like on the radio, or I see like they get so much acclaim and everything, and I'm like, oh, I'm better than you, and I know that. I just need the platform, and it makes me go harder to get to that level of saying, hey, this is this person, this is DNY Blaze, and this is such and such. DNY Blaze is actually better than such and such. It makes me be better than I was yesterday. So stuff that I was working on yesterday, this is why I have so many songs, so many beats and stuff, because stuff that I was working on yesterday, I feel like I could do so much better than that. And it makes me just keep going more and more and more.
Well, I got 3 more questions I got to ask you. Guys, if y'all got more questions, go ahead and hit them up. I'm gonna limit the questions a little bit to see what we got. But the question I got is what would you tell your younger self? You're today. What would you tell your younger self going through this journey?
Just to not care what people say. I think that's what made me apprehensive in starting it because people when you're younger, you're along that age, you start to care about your perspective or what people's perspective is of you, and that kind of hinders you from doing stuff that you really want to do.
Yeah.
So it's like you go to college, get a job, do this, make six figures, yada yada yada. I would tell my younger stuff to just do what you want to do. Just if you want to start making music then and there, do it. If you want to move here, do it. So just do as you want to, and not what you want to make people believe. Basically,
Is there a certain style of music that like? Not like genre, but like like for me, like I like whatever Cola style is, I got to turn that shit right off. Like when it's soon, like I can't stand that TikTok. I can't stand it when I see it on TikTok. I heard it on the radio. When Twin of Them comes on, bro, I stop to do whatever I'm doing to turn that shit off. Sorry, I know my mom's watching, but I have to. Like I was in the car backing up a couple of days ago, and it came on because my radio turns on first before my phone comes on. I stopped the car in the driveway to make sure I got connected to the because I can't. So is there like a style of music that says no? That makes me cringe. It makes me want to get in the studio and write better music because I can't take that.
Not really. No, there's if I can say anything, it's just that hard metal rock music. If that would be the only one, like that screamo type music, that would be the only type of music that I would say because I can't really gel with that. But anything else is wide open. I pretty much like anything. I give everything a try. If I don't like it, then it gets tossed to the side.
Last question I got, guys. If you got anything, I got one more question. But last thing I'm gonna ask is you said you have an album coming out. I know you're working on that. Can you give us a release date? If not, can you give us a release date? And then two, what are some other things that we can expect from you? You're going to be able to go to any shows. You're going to be performing in any shows. Where at? Where can we find you at? Or, are you going to come out with more music videos? Like, we want to know.
Release date for that album is looking at March 2022.
Okay.
I was going to do it in February. My birthday is in February. My birthday is February 25th. But I have an inkling that everybody is going to drop on 2/22/22 just because it's 2/22/22.
Valentine's Day in that day. Yeah.
I already know that people are going to drop. Then it's like, then that makes it non-special. It makes it, in my opinion, makes it lame. It's not wavy. It's not nothing like that. It's so in March. That's when I expect, or you guys should expect the new album to drop. Shows are going to be this summer for sure. I no expected date on these shows, but me and my engineer, we're gonna actually come up with a set list. Even if we have to do it virtually, we're gonna do these shows virtually or in person. But shows and music videos are definitely coming out summer 2022 because it's a year of revamping up. We just getting started. I told myself I didn't release any videos last year. I released one album last year, but this year it's going hard in the paint, like old Waka.
Do you wanna shout out any of your social media accounts so people can follow you so they can go ahead?
Anything that you follow me on IG, TikTok, Twitter, Facebook is all at DNY Blaze. Make it simple for everybody. All at DNY Blaze.
That's on all social media.
All social media, YouTube, everything.
So
Twitch. I'm on Twitch.
You're on Twitch. Bet even better. So I got a strong question. What does he think of mumble rap? I strongly dislike it. In my opinion, it lacks skill. Another person says mumble rap relies too heavily on the.
For sure. Mumble rap relies too heavily on the beat. There's no real. There's some skill in it, but there's no real skill in mumble rap, in my opinion. It's just everybody's carbon copy at that point because you can literally do anything and say anything. So it's nothing special at that point. You just literally combining words, syllables, pronouns, all that stuff. It's just it's okay. If I were to listen to mumble rap, which I do listen to mumble rap, it's just because of the beat. You got a fire Southside beat, got a fire Metro beat on there. It's just because of the beat.
It hypnotizes you.
Yeah, that's where, dude. That's where that's where you get the most of the substance from especially when it comes to mumble rap. But anything, it's just the instrumentals and the beat behind everything.
Good. Well, I'm gonna hit you with my favorite last question that I ask everybody. Is there anything else that you want to add that we're failing to ask?
Yeah, well, there is speaking of movies, I got a homie named Carlson. His movie is on Peacock right now. It was a holiday movie. It's called
Who?
It's Reindeer Games. Carlton Clay.
Oh, yeah, I'm gonna try to get him on the show next. I'm gonna try to get him. I'm gonna hit him up. I'm actually gonna hit him up tomorrow and see if he want to be on the show because I gotta get him on there. Yeah, go ahead, but go ahead, finish.
He had a holiday movie for Christmas on there on Peacock. So, and one of my songs is actually the intro to that.
Okay.
So that was like I was saying, like telling you earlier. It's almost a surreal moment when you see your song on a movie because it's dope. You have the cast doing what they do, and then you see the intro credits and everybody's name and it's your song.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to shout him out for that. I'm also writing a song for another one of my homies. He's trying to produce a short film, so I'm trying to do the score for that, which is something I've never done. That's where I know you know Childish Gambino, but that's where his producer Ludwig got into like movies and everything. He creating scores for it, so I'm trying to produce a score for that along with this album. It's just 2022 is going crazy. That's all I'm saying.
What's the movie on Peacock?
It was a holiday movie. It's called Reindeer Games.
Reindeer Games. Okay. Well, I said that was my last question, but you know, for those people who don't know, Carlton Clay is an independent filmmaker in Augusta. I would consider him to be the number one filmmaker in Augusta. Like, independent filmmaker. He's probably the number one. Like, because if you look on the news, he's on the news like almost every 2 months.
Every week.
every week. I've interviewed him 3 times. When I first started coming, like when I first started at WGBF, I know I interviewed him like 3 times, bro. And then I've seen him on other things, but he's on Peacock, and Peacock is like, you got to pay for Peacock. It ain't no like free Tubi, whatever. So like, that's pretty dope that you're on that. So what is that like? What does that mean for you? Like, does that speak volumes that you're in a movie? And then people can like, and he's not only that, he's an award-winning filmmaker as well too.
Yeah, that's speaks volumes for me and for him. It's because he's on Peacock, that means I'm on Peacock, and then it gives you a status of, hey, you know, we're on a NBC syndicate on Peacock, so it's
you're on a major network.
Yeah.
Your music's on a major network.
Yeah, a little behind the scenes on that is I said I'm producing. He actually has an album coming out. If you interview him, he's gonna tell you about it. He has an album coming out that I solely produced, so it's gonna be crazy.